Hello, this is Laura Bonani, and I will be presenting my ePortfolio. I chose to do an ePortfolio so that I could use it to show my administrators when I get evaluated twice a year. I based it off of the evaluation rubric that was given to me in the beginning of the year. I have been slowly gathering evidence throughout the year to add to the website and have finally come up with a finished product. On the main home page, I have my name displayed on top along with the three tabs. The home page gets you to the home page wherever you are. The portfolio tab gets to another site that then has 4 subpages, which are all part of the evaluation rubric. And then finally, I have a contact tab. On the home page, I have my resume linked. You can click on it and a copy of my resume will appear with my past experiences in teaching and in education. Going back to the home page, I also put a picture of myself on there. I was told by several participants of my surveys that the picture helped give a face to the site and made it more inviting and welcoming. One change that I made to the homepage was adding this picture and the quote. There was just a white blank space, and it was suggested that I add something to eliminate the space. Moving back up, we'll now look at the portfolio page. A few changes that I made on here was this picture. It was just a picture of a clock and it didn't have very much relevance to my portfolio or myself. So it was suggested that I change it to something that made more sense. I thought that chalkboard with math writing on it would make a little bit more sense since I'm a math teacher. The links over here to the different 4 categories of the evaluation rubric: classroom climate, instruction, planning and preparation, and professional responsibilities were also changed. I originally had them in one row going across the site, but some of the participants said that the wording was being smushed together. They couldn't really read the buttons to figure out where they were going to, so I decided to move them into 2 rows, and this seemed to have fixed the problem. I also provided a link to the teacher evaluation rubric that I am being evaluated on. So this has the 4 different main categories and the subcategories of each of them and what type of evidence that my administrators are looking for. Back on the portfolio page, you can now click on any of these buttons and it will direct you to one of the 4 categories. The first one being classroom climate. So we come to a page and I have the 5 subcategories of classroom climate listed, and under each of them I have at least one piece of evidence to show that I am highly qualified. The first one being student surveys. So we can click on this link and I have copies of student surveys that I gave my students throughout the year. Another piece of evidence I have is a homework rubric that shows that I have classroom routines and procedures clearly in place. So you can click on that link and then again you see the homework rubric that I use to grade my students. Once you are done looking at the classroom climate page, you can scroll back up. You can either go back to the portfolio page or just hovering over portfolio, you get a list of the other pages. So looking on the planning and preparation page, we have the same concept again. This time there are 3 subcategories and evidence for each of them. To show that I develop long-range goals and organize weekly and daily plans, I have curriculum map, pacing guide, lesson plans, and a persuasive essay that I also gave my students. So clicking on any of these links, you'll see the evidence. Here's the pacing guide that I followed throughout the year. The next page, when you scroll up, you see is the instruction page. And this also has the same format. This was one of the pages that I lacked some evidence in B and in F. So this is where the subject matter experts really helped me find some evidence that I could put there. Another suggestion that was made for these pages was to bullet each of these subcategories, and that is what I did. I had it all the same type of font, and the responses came back that it said it was kind of hard to right away look at the page and figure out what the subcategories were versus what the evidence was. On the next page, we have the professional responsibilities. And this was another page that I needed help with coming up with some evidence. That was for subcategories D, E, and I. So I added a few things for each of those. And we can click on any of these. Here is a call log of parents that I have talked to. It's gotten longer since I've uploaded this. I also have a copy of my mentoring hours of topics that I have talked to my mentor about in the past and how I've reflected on the feedback that I've gotten. The final tab of my ePortfolio is the Contact tab, which when you click on it, you see a form that you can fill out, put your name, email, and any comments that you have. I thought that this was a good page to add so that if an administrator or someone else was viewing my site and they had a quick question for me, it was much easier to just click on the tab than to have to go out of the site and find my email in order to ask me. I plan to use this site in the future. I want to build my resources that I put on it so that I can show my administrators that I am highly qualified based off of the evaluation rubric. I thought that this was a very good project to do, and I am glad that I now have all of my resources in one place. Thank you.